Hello again. This is Dr. Keith Henry, vegan naturopath, plant-based naturopath, with another quick wellness news nugget for you. Glad you are listening today. We have a new article today. This article is from theladders.com. That's THELADDRS.com, theladders.com. And this study, the article is entitled, "This Study Reveals Why Some People Age So Much Faster Than Others." Now, if you haven't listened before, I am a vegan naturopath. I'm a naturopathic practitioner. And I like to give this quick wellness news nugget as new information, new articles come out during the day or the week. I try and look at them and just give my commentary on them as a natural practitioner. Now, this is an interesting article I found, and I think you will find it interesting as well. Again, it's entitled, "This Study Reveals Why Some People Age So Much Faster Than Others." It's dated September the 9th, 2019. That was yesterday. So basically, the article goes on to point out how many people tend to age quicker than others, and there are two different age, I guess you could say, barometers. One is your biological age and one is your chronological age. Your biological age being basically how old you really are based upon your health, and the other being the number of years that you have lived. That's basically what the article starts out by saying. It says, when someone asks you your age and you're in the mood to respond, you're more than likely rather to do so with your chronological age, i.e. the number of years you've been alive. There are in fact truer measures than this one, namely the epigenetic clock, which refers to the biochemical standard that determines the lucky few, it says, that get to grow old gracefully. And it goes on, the article goes on to point out that over the course of a lifetime, our cells begin to replicate less and less faithfully, saying nothing of the manifold series of DNA changes that leaves us vulnerable to degenerative maladies. The discrepancy of terms leads many to exclusively attempt to attenuate the cosmetic consequences of aging and rueful dismissal of the epigenetic ones. Epigenetic basically means above the gene. That's the literal meaning of it. But the epigenetic, basically, the concept of epigenetics means to basically be able to alter the expression of your genes, to essentially switch on the expression of genes and switch off an expression of genes. And there are things that can help us do that. Healthy living helps us switch on good genes, if you will, and switch off bad ones. And basically, that's somewhat to some degree what they're referring to when they talk about epigenetics. So then the article goes on to point out, so exactly how much older than your physiology are you? A new study, it says, published in the journal Current Biology, presents fascinating information. It says, the article says that this study was conducted by a team of researchers from the University of Glasgow and Edinburgh. And it says that analyzing data from 1,000 elderly participants, the authors uncovered a somatic mutation that widens the gap between our chronological and biological age. It says the individuals that exhibit this DNA aberration are generally 4 years older biologically than they are chronologically. It says also, what's more, these also express an increased risk for blood cancer, heart disease, and dementia. So this is a mutation that they're talking about in the that they found in the DNA. But the article goes on to point out that thankfully there are effective methods of protecting our genes and dually decreasing instances of somatic mutation. The key, and it says the article says the key seemed to be curtailing inflammation. And that is so true. I mentioned this on the previous quick wellness news nugget that controlling inflammation is crucially important. Inflammation is the basis of most of the diseases that we see here in Western society and around the world. And it goes on to say in this article, inflammation leaves us vulnerable to chronic illnesses and toxicants in our environment. This is a good source of inflammation fighting phytonutrients are foods like kale, tomatoes, and nuts, etc. It also points out, also consider supplements and components that promote cellular regeneration. And finally, it says, quote, we should increase consumption of anti-inflammatory foods such as dark leafy greens, sprouts, cruciferous vegetables, and seeds, and avoid foods that are pro-inflammatory. Quoting Eileen Ruhoy, MD, PhD, an investigative neurologist of the MBG collective. So basically, the article talks about how we can help aging, help our biological aging, which is actually the truest age. And some people are aging these days, and it's clearly that they're aging. It's clear that they're aging both biologically, even more so than chronologically. So again, I would highly recommend that you take this article to heart. Eat as close as you can a plant-based diet that will help you slow down your biological aging. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Quick Wellness News Nugget. Until next time, this is Dr. Keith. Take care.